Evening, folks. Hope you're well. Welcome back to the view. Sorry about that. It was 2-0, but to me, it was 3-0, and it should have stayed as 3-0. So I'm taking the 3. I'll change that in a sec. Hope you're all well this evening. I thought we'd jump on and have a quick chat about the result. I'll just change that banner head real quick while we're chatting as well. We'll get into it. We'll talk about the performance. A really good game of football. Incredibly wasteful by Leeds in front of goal. But I mean, at the end of the day, 3 points to Leeds United, a clean sheet away from home. You'll take that every single day of the week. So, all in all, for me, got to be said, a really good performance in terms of the points and what we went out to get. Went out to get 3 points and went out to get a clean sheet and come home with that. And Daniel Farke gets his first win over Frank Lampard in his career, I think, up until this point. Farke has lost 2 and drawn 1 with Frank Lampard. So, nice to see that go away for Daniel Farke. Some big talking points in the game. The amount of chances Leeds missed around the penalty area, the amount of pretty easy one-on-one tap-ins that Leeds should have taken, and then some decision-making around the edge of the box that just let us down in the final third. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. Leeds win. They're 2-0, not 3-0, 2-0 winners in the game. And they take the 3 points, and that's all that really matters coming home. But some massive, massive moments. The team sheet at the start to talk about was interesting as well, to see how Daniel Farke would line up. Would it be a more risk-averse version of Leeds? Would we see Junior Firpo drop out of the team, or would we see Sam Byram come in? Would Ampadu go into midfield? Would Pascal Stroke start? What would he do? Would we see a much more defensive performance from Leeds United? We'll get into the comments real quick. Super Leeds says Declan Brain, Pierre, it was 3-0 screen shows. That was appalling official. The referee had a day and a half. The ball was in the net celebrating. The flag went up. They all looked over. They celebrated and they looked up and then they celebrated and then the flag went up. Very, very poor. We missed a bucket load of chances in the second half. Why am I fuming at a 2-0? I will be fuming in the 88th minute, but it's gone now when we've won. So take it. Nailed on penalty on Brendan Aronson. Couple of offsides. 4, could have been 7. Could have again been 7 again. It was just crazy game of football. We'll get into the incidents and the bits and pieces as well. We could have easily, everyone's saying it, we could have easily scored 10, 12 goals. Easy. My intro music reminds me of Fruit Bob and Custard. Really? I remember that. That was, okay, maybe we should change that then. But talk about it. The manner of the performance was just great. It was because it was constant. It was constant attack from Leeds. And that's ultimately what we want. We didn't get Burnley, and that's been a problem. But so many missed chances. It's really 2 decent saves. 2 massive saves. Let's give the man credit when he deserves it. We've criticized him when he's made a mistake, but that one in the bottom corner is a superb save. And if anyone, I'm going to show you because I thought that might pop up, but if anyone wants to tell me that this is a straightforward save by Ilham Meslier, this is a cracking save by Ilham Meslier. Full stretch down in his corner from close range. That's an excellent save by Mez. He made 2 big saves, as I always say. Praise and criticize in equal measure. He was criticized for 2 big mistakes against Hull City. He's made 2 big saves tonight, which have helped us to keep the 3 points. Hit the like if you're in the house. That would be nice. Appreciated as well. We won 7. We could have had 7 easily as well. How does Pass get back in there? This is what we talk about. Everyone's annoyed at the January transfer window being a dud. But yeah, look at what's coming off the bench and how did it get back into the team? Maybe a word for our goalkeeper. Absolutely. It takes a big person to go up and say, yes, he had a big game after the criticism he's had, but 2 monster saves. And I'm sure Daniel Farke will talk about it. We'll get his comments as they come in. We should have put the game to bed. We shouldn't have had to rely on Mez. But yeah, get some credit back in the bank tonight after that. Coventry keeper was good. A lot of the chances were straight at him. I think we've got to be honest about that as well. Did his job though, Ian. He did do his job. Using my own words against me. Yeah, absolutely. He did do his job, but they still are 2 very big saves. That one on the crossbar from Sims' header is a lovely touch as well. He did well, Mez, tonight. We got to give him credit. His passing out from the back was good as well. So lost and missed chances, but very enjoyable game. I won't get through all the comments because I'm going to talk for a bit. I don't have any guests on tonight, so we're just going to have a quick chat. We won't be here long. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a lovely evening. This makes it easier. Leeds now 5 points clear of Burnley and 5 points clear of Sheffield United. Burnley's game is out of the way. Sheffield United's yet to come. We'll have to see. Also, again, while we're live, I just wanted to say a huge thank you for everyone that supported the channel over the last 2.5 years. 7 million views that we've just hit, which is phenomenal and breathtaking. And honest to God, I would have done this with 350 views. 7 million's crazy, but thank you very much for everyone that supported the channel. Melier drawing upon his inner golden banks for the first save. Yeah, right down that bottom corner, but it was lovely. We'll start off though. Let's talk about the team sheet that comes out. And when the team sheet comes out, you're thinking to yourself, oh, is it Byram left back? Is it Strauchan at centre back? But he doesn't. The only real defensive change is that Ilya Gruev partnership with Tanaka in away games. And I'm okay with that. If you go back to how Leeds were performing away from home earlier on this season, we were conceding the first goal very easily, counterattacks usually. What this does is this has allowed us to focus on going forward, and we know that we've got solid defensive there. Ilya Gruev again tonight for me was very, very good. He does the ugly side of football beautifully for me. Intercepting passes, closing off passing lanes, hitting tackles, all of that is great. I thought the back two of Ampadu and Rodon had a very strong game as well. They had a lot to deal with, two players. It's rare that they'll have two strikers up against them at the back. Bogle, excellent on the right-hand side for me as well. Junior Firpo quieter than normal, but he had a more defensive-minded game tonight, and he did really well. The front three, tricky enough game. Coventry were compact quite a lot. Dan James had a bit of joy. Not Dan James' end product day today, but the work was there. He was getting to the positions, but ultimately the quality wasn't there today. Either we couldn't get the ball under control, or we were under hitting it or over hitting it or sending players too wide. But the work rate was still there, and good work from him defensively as well. Manor Solomon had a really strong game as well. Defensively, again, more so than attacking. They had a lot of work to do on that part of the park. Brendan Aronson, a grafting day, lots of pressing, lots of running, lots of coming back into the midfield to help out there as well. And then Joel Peru didn't have a huge amount to do. Scored one, probably should have scored two, for being very, very honest about it. But that when you look at that team sheet, you think probably a more defensive-minded approach from Leeds. And if you look at the first half statistics, Leeds had 64% of the possession in the first half. A very, very, very dominant first half performance from Leeds. Created 3 big chances in the first half, but went in 2-0 up at half time. And although it probably should have been 3, you take 2-0 away from home, knowing that the second half will open up a little bit more. Coventry will have to have a go. Coventry created no big chances in the first half, but that did change in the second half. But yeah, really good first half performance from Leeds. Slow when they needed to be slow, when they needed to draw Coventry out. They sped it up when they got in behind in good areas, created a lot of chances. Coventry defended reasonably well in the first half just by getting a lot of bodies behind the ball. And then, as we said, there was some big moments from Milan Melia, big save in the first half as well, won the second half from him. Second half, then it changes a little bit. Leeds had 42% of the possession, a big drop off in the second half. But Coventry changed things up slightly, brought on Sakamoto, busy player. Sakamoto, tight on the. Thanks, Liam. I really appreciate that, mate. Thanks. Very tight on the ball. Sakamoto, he's busy. He likes to cause problems. He comes in and out. He drags players out of position. Surprised he was on the bench. More surprised than Matt Grimes was on the bench, and he made a bit of an impact when he came on the game in the second half as well. But yeah, 2 big chances for Leeds in the second half. It says 2 big chances on paper, but Melier shouldn't have scored. That's harsh. Peru should score. Dan James should score. Firpo's goal is ruled out. There should have been a penalty on Brendan Aronson for an absolute shocking decision by a referee when, as Brendan Aronson is swinging his foot to kick the ball, he is hit from behind. There was 0 contact from the defending player on the ball. All the contact on Brendan Aronson. Aronson goes down in a heap in the box. He normally goes down pretty easily, but he was hit pretty hard here. The referee was directly behind it, had a clear view of it, and waved the penalty away. Aronson goes down easy a couple of minutes later. I shouted a penalty on our watch along. Didn't happen, but probably a softer one anyway. But Leeds had lots of chances. Willie Nonto puts the ball in the back of the net at the end. It's ruled out for offside. Whether he was or not, I can't tell you yet. They didn't show a replay. But what you see from it is Junior Firpo shot is onside, and it's probably already going into the back of the net before Willie Nonto touches it into the back of the net. But go through the team. As I said, they've all had really, really good games. The goals, particularly Joe Pirro's first goal, is a lovely finish. Takes it on his right foot, opens it across the goal, and then opens that bottom right-hand corner and feeds the ball in with a beautiful finish. Has a chance in the second half on his left foot again and tries to just flick it past the keeper instead of wrapping his foot around it and making sure of it. Leeds felt a little bit complacent that time in front of goal. That last pass or that last shot was just a little bit lax, where it should have been a bit more determined to finish it off. Also, opportunities to square balls and take tap-ins weren't taken today. Pirro, again, guilty of that in the first half, trying to smash a ball into the near post top corner when he could have squared it for a tap-in for Dan James. And again, the second half, a ball across for Brendan Aronson could have been a tap-in. Manor Solomon could have had a tap-in. All of that was happening in the game. But the big part of that is that Leeds on the road were still creating a huge amount of chances. 5 big chances in that game. In the second half, Leeds had 12 shots in total. They had 7 in the first half. That's 19 in total in the game. It's a lot of shots. We put over 20 past Cardiff as well in the shots department. So very easily on another night with a bit more composure in the final third, Leeds could have easily wrapped up 4 or 5 goals in this game. Very, very easy. But it should be said, and there should be moments taken, we will spend lots of time talking about a player when they make a mistake that costs the game. We don't talk enough probably about them when they do something good. Ilan Meslier makes 2 fantastic saves tonight. One from a Sims header inside the corner. Both of them very close to him. That one down the bottom corner is an instinctive reflex save from a very short distance, and he gets down really, really, really well to save a ball he probably shouldn't be saving. The second one is just a little touch onto the crossbar. Might not have gone in anyway. He might hit the crossbar and come out, but he's not to know that. Gets the touch on it and makes it safe for Leeds. And then second balls all across the park today was an area for me that Leeds did really well. If we weren't winning the first ball, we were winning the second ball and clearing it and getting ourselves up the park. But yeah, all in all, just a really, really good game of football to watch because it wasn't like the Burnley game. Both sides having a go at each other. I think Leeds didn't probably expect Coventry to have as much of a go in the second half as they did. But yeah, as Tony says here, Aronson was assaulted in the box. He really, really was. Again, apology if I'm not getting to all the chat. It's difficult when I'm talking and doing it as well, but I appreciate everyone throwing some comments in. Let me know what you think about the game. I will get to them after the live stream and have a look at them as well. But if you want to hit the like as well, which will help the video just get out to more people and helps it grow. So appreciate that if you can. But yeah, all good. Solid performance from Leeds. 3 more points in the bag on the road. That away record continues to get better. Some very big performances defensively, especially in goal. And going forward, there's still areas to work on. But in the last 2 games, Leeds have created a phenomenal amount of chances. And that's the kind of football that we know that this Leeds team can take. I have criticised parts of what we do this season, the first half of being Daniel Farke holding the reins on the players and pulling them back. What we're starting to see is those reins just being loosened a little bit and this Leeds team to be allowed to start going forward. We win 2-0, but I'm finding myself a bit disappointed. All we need are 3 points and clean sheets. That's the way I'm looking at it today. Expect an apology from the PGMOL, but I wouldn't expect much else from that as well. Great result. Awful finish in the second half. Was worried they might score a goal, maybe build confidence. But they didn't, and that's the important part. As I said here, good team performance, 3 points, job done, we move on. This, for me, carry on keeping clean sheets. That's a 3rd or 4th clean sheet in a row as well, which is back to last year's kind of stuff when we went on that run. So lots of that. Farke outs and Farke outs. You'd be really happy with that. We'll see if the manager's comments have started to come in yet. And we'll see what Daniel Farke is saying in the game. I'll have a quick look, see what Adam's talking about on the over on X. And we'll see if he says anything. Nothing yet from Daniel Farke. I'll see if Baron Cross is taking anything from him. Might miss it tonight. Might be a few minutes before he gets to Mimbo. Yeah, nothing from Daniel Farke just yet. But Frank Lampard makes a gesture of some kind to the Leeds fans after the game. First one to his ear, and the second to the outside of his outstretched fist. Not sure what that's about, but yeah, we'll see if we'll keep an eye on the comments if they come in. A few more comments from the chat. I'd be disappointed if we created nothing. We have had those games though, Lee, haven't we? It's sad that Leeds were playing at Coventry, 14 players, including officials. Yeah, it was a bad night if you're an official tonight. Had Leeds kept the lead against Hull and Blackburn, imagine where we'd be now. True, but we are where we are, and we're still top, and that's important. Tanaka is the best we've had in a very long time. I thought we would be too defensive with Groove on that side. However, Farke gets a spot on. I think people forget how good Groove was last season and how progressive his passing can be. And he likes those through balls from those defensive areas. But the work he does to cut out forward runs, the work he does to cut out forward passes, and even just the stuff you don't see where he just gets between passing lanes to stop passes. And the amount of time you see an opposition turn around and head back towards their own goal, for me, shows how well that midfield is. There's no way through. You have to go back and try and go around a different direction. And they do that really, really well. Grew was fantastic at it. Thought Sims looked good, strong. We're talking about on the live stream as well that Leeds needed a different type of number 9. Sims might have been it, similar to Tom Cannon. I know they're not the super sexy, attractive players, but they're, for certain games, big, strong mullickers, can push people off the ball, can be aggressive, and I think that's what you want to see. Farke is currently being interviewed over on LUTV. If you're watching that, you can have a look at it. Lampard just reaching for tissues now. Steve Ogrizovic reckoned it should have been 4-5-0. I think it could have been more. I think it could have been a lot more. Farke will rotate more. Yeah, I would imagine you see Gilavogi come in for the FA Cup. You would imagine Ramazani and Nonto will both get a start in that as well. And you would imagine you'll see some defensive stroke will likely come back in to get some minutes. You might see Sam Byron come back in at left back. We may see Isaac Schmidt. What has happened with Isaac Schmidt, we don't know. There hasn't been any comment about an injury, but the second game in a row where no Isaac Schmidt on the bench. But then this is where we talk about the January transfer window. What do you add to this Leeds side? Because you've just beaten Coventry again. It could have been a cricket score again, but it wasn't, but it could have been. But look what comes off the bench. Ramazani, Nonto, Stroke, Gilavogi. You've no Byram, sorry, you've no Bamford, and you've no Schmidt on the bench even. So there's a lot more depth there. But yeah, all good, all good. Leeds made the Coventry keeper look good. A lot of shots just straight at him. Rothwell not used today either, but doesn't have to be used in every game. And we got the job done with what we had in there. Good morning from Australia. A win and a good win. Marching on together. Agree about Groove. That's what why Aronson stays on. It's all about when we lose the ball is to get back, put them off, turn them around, send them back to their goal. And it's, as I say, it's never the pretty stuff, but it's it works. It's important all the same. Quick comment from Damien. Great win in what was potentially a banana skin fixture. Could have been more than Cardiff. Definitely could have been. I like the attitude we're showing this season. Seeing Amps geeing up the players all game and even having words with Mateo when he came on. That's what you want to see from your captain, isn't it? Frank holding a 4-2 to the away end. You didn't get promoted, Frank. You won a leg of a semi-final of a playoff and then didn't go up with Mason Mount in your team and half the Chelsea under-21s. So, yeah, Frank, well done, mate. Well done. Look at that bench. How does Schmidt sit on it? How does anybody else get onto that? Is anyone going to tell me that Adam Armstrong gets onto that bench? Because I don't see it. Respect to you if you do, but I don't see it. Mez with his new goalkeeping coach. We doesn't have a new goalkeeping coach as far as I know. I could be wrong. Maybe you know something I don't. Cardiff and Coventry have been bogey teams. They have. Leeds don't have a great record against Coventry. They've lost the last 2 against them. So, a bit of a bogey team. We should have beaten them 5-0 at half. Should have 5-0 at half time. Could have been 10 by full time. With Burnley and Sheffield United recruiting so many players in January, they all have to embed into their teams and their systems. And that may take time to build relationships. I have to agree with you there. And Dirty Leeds, the machine rolls on. No bananas. We'll just have a quick another look just to see if we're getting any comments from Mr. Farke. Now, if anyone in the press is watching LUTV, we'll see what he's saying about the game. Nothing from Baron yet, nothing from the press room. So as of right now, no, we won't get any Daniel Farke comments in tonight. But yeah, overall, we've got to be happy with that. It was a good game of football. We didn't sit back. It wasn't slow tempo. We tried to get forward. We created a ton of chances. And that's all I want to see from this Leeds team, because on another day, they finished them. If you're taking this team into training next week, you're going back to the Cardiff game and you're showing them going, look at how many chances you created where you took the obvious easy pass, squared it for tap-ins, took the goal. Today, it was a lot more individualistic stuff. It was all about them doing it on their own when there were better options. So I think that's the one area you just want to bring them back and go, it doesn't matter if you score. It only matters if we score, and take the chances when they're there. Same against Watford needed, as Damien says. Lee, really, really happy with tonight. Good stuff. Daniel Farke, massive 3 points. This huge, absolutely. Subs timing poor for me, but didn't impact the game, Christopher. I think that's what's important right now. I think you could have probably changed both wide players earlier on because there was a lot of space in behind. Valid. I think the defensive subs were probably the ones I thought he'd make first, but he didn't. He went with the attacking changes first and left the defensive changes to right at the end. And that's a change in Farke's philosophy a little bit as well. I thought Watford looked okay and were very dangerous. They've got a decent side, Watford, and on their day they can be good, but they're a bit of a flip-floppy kind of team. Daniel Farke says the only thing he's not happy about is the scoreline. Thought it was definitely a penalty and the goal was not offside. I haven't seen that and it's hard to say. The feed was coming from Coventry and just weren't showing it. So Farke said he was happy but should have had more goals, not an offside. Thank you for these comments, by the way. Appreciate that. But on a different run now. Hints at more than 4 change at the weekend. I think it'd be silly not to use his bench now and give them some minutes because that's a good bench. Another tough away match against Watford next after, although Cleverly is under pressure. Every manager at Watford ever is always under pressure. So, but there we go. Look, we won't drain the ocean, as they say. We'll move on. We won't hang around for ages for no apparent reason. Oh, here we go. Farkas here. So first comment coming out from Baron Cross. Farkas says, great night, important win, tough place. Impressed with our pressing, counter-pressing. 5th clean sheet in a row, wasteful with our chances, and need to be more efficient. Clear penalty, crazy that we don't get this. Last goal was not offside. I think we've all agreed with that as well. We all saw that. So interesting one, but yeah, it was a nailed on penalty. every day of the week. So we can expect the apology letter from the PGMOL any minute now or in the next couple of days. I'm sure Daniel Farke will make comments on it in the next couple of days as well. I'm just checking Daniel Adam Pope, see what he's doing with his stuff. Baron's currently covering the bit of stuff coming up, but not a huge amount coming out. I think we'll wrap it up there, folks. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you as always. Thank you also for all the support on the channel. 7 million views. Absolutely crazy. It's been incredible. Thank you for your company tonight. And as John says, not worried about the FA Cup. Neither am I, John. If we go out of it the weekend, fine. We've got a bigger fish to fry this season. Thanks, Mixie. Thanks, Russ. Thanks to everyone who's watching. I will be back in the morning for the Leeds United news. You can check that out or whatever fallout from tonight's game that we get. Adam Pope is speaking in the press conference right now, but we'll pick them up later on. We'll talk about them tomorrow. Folks, enjoy the rest of your evening. Well done to Leeds on 3 points. Stay top of the league. 5 points clear. All good. I will talk to you very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. See ya.